Yo guys, how's it going, and welcome back to this video today. Today I'm actually chilling in a hammock in the Philippines, which is pretty cool, and I wanted to bring you a video about sales and how you can skyrocket your sales for your social media marketing agency without actually having to do it yourself and having to spend a ton of money doing so. And what we're going to be going through today is something that I'm currently trying to implement into my agency. It's not something that I've currently got set up, although I know people who have got this set up, and it absolutely works wonders. It works amazing, and it's really a good way, to be honest with you, if you want to scale your agency to 7 figures, or maybe you just want to scale it to 6 figures, this really is a good way for you to be able to get more sales, get more clients, things like that, without actually having to do all of the cold calls yourself or do all of the outreach yourself, but also without having to hire a team on salary in order to get that. So what we're going to be going over today is hiring salespeople on commission, and you want to hire 2 types of salespeople, and these are what's known as openers and closers. Now these both have very different roles, but they're both, in all honesty, just as important as each other. So the first things first I want to cover is the payment structure. Now the reason this works so well, and to be honest amazingly well for scaling, is because you want to be paying these people on commission. Now what this means is you only pay them if they get you results. Therefore, if they're getting you results, you're making money, you can afford to pay them that commission because you're making money. It's not like you're going out spending 50 grand a year on payroll for some sales employee in London or something like that, and they may get you meetings, they may not, they may be an asset to you, but they may end up being a liability and actually costing you money. None of this stuff. So the first thing that's really important is these salespeople will be on commission. So this is a fantastic way to scale. Like I said, it doesn't cost you a load of money because you only essentially spend money once you make the money from the deal actually going through. So now that we understand that this is a commission-based role for the team members, the second thing I want to go through is the different types. So number 1 is what's called an opener. Now an opener is somebody that opens the discussion between a client, that sets up the meeting, someone that sets up some kind of phone call or in-person meeting for the closer to go in and close the deal. So these openers need to be, a really good way for doing this is to get people to cold call, is to get people to do outreach for you, and anything, to be honest, that is a means of setting up meetings. In all honesty, it really doesn't matter how this person sets up a meeting. If they set up a meeting, then they can get paid a commission. And how this generally works, and this is the way I'm looking at it moving forward, is I'm personally not a fan of cold calling. My whole business model is based off the fact you do not have to cold call. You can use these freelance websites, other social media platforms, and other forms of outreach that, you know, allow you to not have to pick up the phone and cold call, because I know people are uncomfortable with that. But if you're uncomfortable with doing it yourself, that doesn't mean you can't get other people to do it, which is why this works amazing. So you can get somebody, an opener or several openers, on a commission-based pay to basically call up business owners and set up meetings on behalf of your social media agency. The second person in this equation is then the closer. So once the opener sets up the meeting, they can then pass them on to a dedicated closer. Now this closer is the person that either rocks up and turns up to the meeting, or somebody that goes on Skype or however the meeting's set up and closes the deal. Now it's very important with this the person understands your business model. You know, it's very easy with an opener to give them a cold call script and things like that, and give them the name of your company and get them to set up the meetings. It's a bit more difficult to find somebody to become a closer, because they actually need to understand social media marketing, understand your business model, understand the pricing structures, understand how to overcome objections and things like that. Whereas with opening and then setting up meetings, it is just a case of banging phones, and if you do it enough, you will set up enough meetings. So with closers, it is a bit harder to find them, but generally speaking, when you get a closer, you can get somebody, they will make more money. There's no set in stone way for you to pay them. You can pay them however you want. From what I've heard and what I'm trying to implement myself, 10% is a really good commission for an opener, and 25% is a really good commission for a closer. Now this is off the first month only, so you know, if you're selling high ticket products in your social media marketing agency, anywhere from 1 to 5k a month, and let's say you close a deal at 3k a month, 25% commission on 3 grand a month, is, I don't know the maths on that, what, £750? £750 for them going in and closing a deal. That's what most people on a good salary in the UK make in 2 weeks, a month, a week in 2 weeks, and they can make that by essentially going in and closing one deal. So, you know, it works really well, and the same goes with the opener. Openers can generally get paid about 10%. Now, this is 10% of the close price. You know, you can experiment, you can create your own commission structure, you can create your own pricing structure for how you want to pay these. But a good opening rate is about 10%. So if you pay, you know, let's say someone sets, they call 100 people, they set up 10 meetings, and 5 of those go through at a close at 1,000 each, 5 grand, they've just made $500 off a 10% commission, off of 1 day's work of banging the phones, script after script after script, ring, 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 they've just made $500. So this may not be appealing to you, you know, this may not be appealing to you to want to cold call and want to go into the meetings and do the sales yourself. But maybe you are happy doing that. But if you really want to scale this to a 7-figure agency, you cannot be the only person doing the outreach. You cannot be the only person closing deals eventually in the long term, because it's not scalable. Now, this may not be for somebody who's just starting out. I highly recommend you get in the trenches yourself. You do your outreach, your freelance website outreach, your LinkedIn outreach, your cold calls if you want to, your cold emails. I highly recommend you do that yourself, and I highly recommend you go and you do the closes yourself. It's going to increase your skill level. You're going to learn so much about yourself and your level of ability and what you're bad at, what you're good at. It's got a plethora of benefits, and to be honest, no one's ever going to know your business as much as you. So in the beginning, I do highly recommend that. But if you're somebody that wants to scale your business to the next level, this is just an idea that I wanted to share with you, you know, of getting these salespeople on a commission-based structure, 10% for openers, 25% of closers for the first month. And, you know, because this is a commission-based role and you're not paying payroll, why can't you get 100 closers and 100 openers? I mean, obviously 100 is quite an exaggerated number, but let's be real for a second and say 10 people. If you had 10 people on salary doing that, in London, in the UK, an average salary is maybe about 40 grand a year, and upwards to some people if you want to hire someone good. So if you say 40,000 a year, you hire 10 employees, your expenses just for staff costs are 400 grand a year, which is absolutely ridiculous amount of money. But if you get 10 people on a commission-based structure that get paid on a results basis, and you give them a killer script and you give them everything that they need to get the most out of themselves, and you know, let's say you say on average an average person calls 100 people a day, well, times that number by 10, all of a sudden you've got 1,000 phone calls made a day, 5 days a week, 5,000 phone calls a week, 20,000 to 25,000 phone calls a month. How many clients do you think you're going to get off the back of that? Now, obviously, you're going to have people who are going to do a terrible job. Not everyone's going to enjoy the commission-based pay, but if you keep looking out for people and you keep trying to find people, you are going to find good people who are setting you up a ton of meetings, and it's a win-win for them, because one thing that I've really learned about hiring people is that people work well when they have control. So if you micromanage your employees and you tell them everything they have to do, and you don't give them any creative freedom, the chances are they're not going to fulfill their potential, because they're just doing it for you. Whereas when you pay someone on a commission-based basis, they may not want to be the number one, they may not want to be the head of the company or the entrepreneur per se, but they may want to have complete freedom and have complete creative control. And this is the kind of person that you want to look for, someone that can come in, smash 200 phone calls a day, set up several meetings, pass it on to a closer who's going to go in, close several deals, take home a fantastic salary, and then your business is growing on autopilot because of it. Now, like I said, this isn't something I've implemented myself. This is something that I have learned. This is something I learned of someone I know is doing this very, very well. But this is something that I'm implementing, and I wanted to share with you today. Now, the final thing that you could be going on here is like, where can I find these people? Now, to be honest, it's completely, there's several ways that you can find this, you know. It's a commission-based job, so why not treat it as a normal job? You can post it on job sites, because technically everybody who's going to be working for you will be self-employed. You're not getting these people on payroll. These will be self-employed people who will technically work for themselves. But you can post a job on job sites, so if you live in the UK or US, anywhere that you'd go and get a sort of normal job, or you'd apply for a normal job, create an account and actually post a job on there, looking for commission-based salespeople based anywhere in, anywhere in the world. Go on Upwork and freelance websites, look for salespeople. You can go to university forums and post that you're looking for salespeople on commission-based job. University students are always looking for work. If you've got a personal brand, put it out on your social media. I'm looking for salespeople on a commission basis. You have the opportunity to make thousands a month for doing this. And look, I want you to understand something as well. Let's say somebody works a normal job and they're willing to do anything to break out, and they can get a solid commission basis off of helping you with your agency. That's still going to beat working at their dead-end job that they were before. So yes, it's commission, but it also benefits them. They have the full creative freedom, and it's going to allow you to scale without actually physically putting in the work yourself. And one thing I will say is, obviously, it's very important to keep your reputation in mind. Your brand is everything. Now, if you've got some guy calling up who's doing a really terrible job and he's portraying your business in a really bad way, well, you do not want that to happen. So make sure you are kind of selective with who you take on. Get a killer script in place, create a pricing structure or commission structure that works for you. You know, if somebody comes to you and says, look, I can do it, but maybe I'll take 30%, well, you have to ask yourself, is that worth it for you? If it is, then do it. So guys, I hope you found some value in that video today. Again, this isn't something that many people have spoken about online, and this is something that I'm implementing myself to really take my agency to the next level. But for those of you guys who maybe this video was helpful for, but maybe you don't have any clients yet and you're just getting started, I do have a training program that I'm going to link down below called the Social Media Marketing Academy. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people quit their job, take action, and start their own social media marketing agency from scratch. The beauty of the business model that I teach is different to most people's. I teach you how to get clients without doing any cold calling, without email outreach, any of that stuff. You can get clients using freelance websites by essentially being wherever you want in the world, but without having to get on the phone call with people. I know there's a lot of introverts out there who don't like sales, they don't like the idea of cold calling, and this will be perfect for you. But maybe you already have clients and you want to know how to scale and automate your business, build a team. It also covers all of that, the results. It's a complete A to Z of everything you need to know to start and scale your social media marketing agency. Doesn't matter how old you are, where you live in the world, no excuses. You can do this in as little as 1 hour a week, or if you've got 40 hours a week, that's perfect too. It really doesn't matter. This is suited for everybody. If you want to check that out and fast track your way to success, the link will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found some value in this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.